They do have some good pieces. At safety position, though, yeah, it's a desperate, dire need. You see them trying to address it with a Toviano switch. There's a couple of names that I've got that I'm wondering if we're going to be able to see on the field, like an Austin Osbury or a Joel Rogers, if any of those players are going to be able to see some type of playing time, and if they turn enough heads to make some people a little more confident in that room. Do you think that they might have some names on this depth chart as of right now that you could potentially lean toward next season?
You know, the Toviano making a switch to safety, I thought that was a great idea by Brian Kelly and his staff. Like I alluded to last episode, he played safety in high school and he played corner, so this is not going to be unfamiliar with him. Can't wait to see how he looks in this bowl game against Baylor and just see, like, okay, he does have what it takes to be a starting safety in the SEC. So I know they got Joel Rogers on the roster. I haven't really heard too much about him doing bowl prep. I know he's been getting a lot of reps, but the lack of experience is probably gonna show up if he does get some time against Baylor. So we're gonna see what he's made of. But I think Toviano is the key to that safety room. I mean, if Toviano shows some flashes in his bowl game that he can be a projected starter, now you're not pressed to go get two safeties. You might be able to go get one and feel good about yourself going into next season. So I think this is a big game for Toviano.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, he was kind of lost a little bit in the shuffle this season. A lot of people expected a lot of, big things from him, a big role, if you will. And I feel like, if he takes the step and is able to grow, he could potentially be one of the best pieces on the defense. I mean, like, I know it seems as if it might be a long shot. Like I said, I mean, what, 5, 6, maybe even 7 months ago, people were talking about him starting this year. And I mean, some things had to change, but going
I
forward,
want to say he started against USC, did he?
I'm not sure. Let me go ahead
I
and
think it
check.
was him and Ashley Stamps.
I know that USC game was so confusing because we came in with a little rotation. They were rotating. They had
Yeah,
so many
Jai
different pieces.
Alexander, Jai Alexander didn't play in that game.
No, he wasn't healthy
So I
yet.
want
Yeah.
to say Toviano and Ashley Stamps were the two corners in that game, and then I think they rotated PJ Woodland in, but I want to say Toviano started against USC.
Let's see. Got the depth chart pulled up right here. LSU's defense, safety. They had Gilbert and Allen come out. And then, yeah, Toviano was actually listed as backup star. But I think he did get slid in, though, because they threw in a lot of pieces. Sage Ryan was back at corner at that point in the year. They were moving all around, those type of pieces. I want to ask you another question because, I mean, this could be a completely different situation, completely different transition. But Sage Ryan going from safety to corner, opposite flip. Toviano going from corner to safety. We saw Sage at times kind of struggle, and it's tough. I mean, position changing like that. I mean, people think DBs are all alike. I don't really think you line up a lot, further when you're a safety. Sometimes you have to play different roles. Sometimes you might have to come down closer. I feel like it's a completely different role. Do you think there's any growing pains he might have to experience? I know you said he played in high school, but do you think at this level that experience is going to be able to have him kind of bridge that gap? Is he talented enough where there's going to be no hiccups? Will you see a similar type of situation where, maybe at first he's going to have to play a hybrid role? Maybe he's going to just be, in this situation temporarily. Or do you think it's permanent? This is Toviano's spot right here, and he's going to take over, ball out.
I think ultimately he probably should be projected as a safety, especially when you start talking about the NFL. He has the size. I think he's instinctive. I just think that his attributes are more predicated to play the safety positions, in my opinion. And so it just takes some getting used to and understanding the system that Blake Baker is running. Because there's a difference between playing corner and playing safety. How he's going to use him? Is he going to roll him down as like a robber or like put him in that star? I would anticipate that that's what they're going to probably do with him. I don't think he's a one deep high free safety at all. I think he's somebody you bring down into the box as like an extra linebacker and let his physicality show up because he's a willing tackler. And like I said, he has that size. So I'm excited to see Toviano progress at that safety position, man. I'm hoping that he figures it out and he has a chance to start day one next season.
And while we're on the topic, position changes and swapping around, do you think that there's any chance that Jha'quan Johnson goes back to the other side of the ball at times? Will he stay at the running back, or what's this going to look like?
So that's an interesting question you bring up. Me and his uncle Jerry, we talk pretty often before and after games, and the whole reason why Jha'quan accepted the role to go play running back because they were going to redshirt him at DB this year because just that room was too full. He wasn't going to get any time. But when it happened with John Emery, they needed another running back, and they said, "Look, you was an athlete in high school. You can get on the field this year if you come play running back." And so he did that. Me personally, I think Jha'quan Johnson, his money is on the defensive side of the ball, playing either safety or corner. I think that he has great feet, has good hips. He could run, very, very smart. He has the mental makeup to play the corner position. I want to see Jha'quan Johnson play DB permanently, especially with that running back room and how it's getting full with JT Lindsey,
Harlem Berry,
Harlem Berry. You got Katie Durham coming back. I don't know what's going to happen with Trey Holly, if he's going to be reinstated or what, but it's just a full stacked room. And I think he's too talented of a player not to be getting some kind of rotational time. So I would love to see him go to that DB room and put the work in and have an opportunity, man, to at least rotate in next year, whether it's corner, safety, or nickel, or however they plan to use him. So I think that's going to be some interesting conversations they're going to have going into that spring. And I'm hoping, man, he considers going back to the DB room.
I feel like it would only make sense, especially with us having this situation where, half of the DBs on the field or I'm not going to say the safety room will be piecemeal together because you never know what you got. Deshaun Spears, I think, will grow a lot this offseason. And I mean, obviously, Jordan Gilbert's probably going to stick around and he could have a nice transition as well. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it being by committee for a little bit. I mean, your corners are probably locked in, like you're saying. You know what you got in them. You know that you got a nice one in Mansour and then DJ, and obviously Ashton Stamps is still here. I mean, those guys aren't going to
Jaheim Jackson.
Anything. Yeah, true. And I can't forget Jakeem.
Now I'm gonna tell you somebody I'm hearing high praises about. Michael Turner. If a lot of people don't remember who Michael Turner is, he was the 4-star receiver out of John Curtis High School. He came in to play wide receiver. Well, when Corey Raymond got the job, he stood on the table and said he wanted Michael Turner to come to the DB room. He has the length, the speed, the twitchiness that he looks for. And if you look at Corey Raymond's track record on the type of DBs he's had, he liked those long, rangy DBs that could run and twitch it just like Michael Turner. He's been having a really, really good bold practice, some really, really good bold practices. I would not be surprised if he's somebody that ascends into that spring and he has an opportunity to be a rotational guy. I think this DB room is going to look totally different next year. And the way Corey Raymond and Staff are talking about Michael Turner, don't be surprised if that's somebody that we're talking about next season that's getting some time and that's contributing to that DB room, man. Michael Turner, look out for him.